Bamidbar, or Numbers 31 through 32. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Take vengeance for the children of Israel on the Midianites. After that you are to be gathered to your people. And Moshe spoke to the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves for the campaign, and let them go against the Midianites to take vengeance for Yahweh on Midian. Send 1,000 from each tribe of all the tribes of Israel for the campaign. So there were supplied from the tribes of Israel 1,000 from each tribe, 12,000 armed ones for the campaign. And Moshe sent them on the campaign, 1,000 from each tribe. Then Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the priest, on the campaign, with the set-apart utensils and the trumpets for sounding in his hand. And they fought against the Midianites as Yahweh commanded Moshe, and killed all the males. And they killed the sovereigns of Midian with the rest of those who were pierced. Ewi, and Rechem, and Tsor, and Hor, and Reba, the 5 sovereigns of Midian. And they killed Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. And the sons of Israel took all the women of Midian captive with their little ones, and took as spoil all their livestock and all their possessions. And they burned with fire all the cities where they dwelt, and all their settlements. And they took all the spoil and all the booty, both of man and beast. And they brought the captives and the booty and the spoil to Moshe and to Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp in the desert plains of Moab, by the Yarden of Jericho. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest and all the leaders of the congregation went to meet them outside the camp. But Moshe was wroth with the officers of the army, with the commanders of the thousands and the commanders of hundreds who had come from the campaign. And Moshe said, Have you kept all the women alive? Look, they're the ones who caused the children of Israel, through the word of Balaam, to trespass against Yahweh in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of Yahweh. And now kill every male among the little ones, and every woman who has known a man by lying with a man you shall kill. But keep alive for yourselves all the female children who have not known a man by lying with a man. And you, camp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever has killed any being, and whoever has touched any slain, cleanse yourselves, and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, and cleanse every garment, and every object of leather, and all the work of goat's hair, and every object of wood. And Eleazar the priest said to the men of the campaign who went to the battle, This is the law of the Torah which Yahweh commanded Moshe. Only the gold and the silver and the bronze and the iron, the tin and the lead, every object that passes through fire, you put through fire, and it shall be clean. Only let it be cleansed with the water for uncleanness. And whatever does not pass through fire, you pass through water. And you shall wash your garments on the 7th day and be clean, and afterwards come into the camp. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Count up the plunder that was taken of man and of beast, you and Eleazar the priest, and the heads of the fathers of the congregation, and you shall divide the plunder into 2 parts, between those who took part in the battle, who went out on the campaign, and all the congregation, and set aside a levy for Yahweh on the men of the battle who went out on the campaign. 1 out of every 500 of man and of the cattle and of the donkeys, and of the sheep. Take it from their half and give it to Eleazar the priest as a contribution to Yahweh. And from the children of Israel's half you shall take 1 of every 50 of man, of the cattle, of the donkeys, and of the sheep, and of all the livestock, and give them to the Levites, guarding the duty of the dwelling place of Yahweh. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest did as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And the booty remaining from the plunder, which the people of the campaign had taken, was 675,000 sheep, and 72,000 cattle, and 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 human beings in all, of women who had not known a man by lying with a man. And the half, the portion for those who went out on the campaign, was in number 337,500 sheep. And the levy unto Yahweh of the sheep was 675. And the cattle were 36,000, of which the levy unto Yahweh was 72. And the donkeys were 30,500, of which the levy unto Yahweh was 61. And the human beings were 16,000, of which the levy unto Yahweh was 32 beings. So Moshe gave the levy, which was the contribution unto Yahweh, to Eleazar the priest, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And from the children of Israel's half, which Moshe divided from the men who campaigned, and now half the belonging to the congregation was 337,500 sheep, and 36,000 cattle, and 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 human beings. Then Moshe took from the children of Israel's half 1 out of every 50 drawn from man and beast, and gave them to the Levites, who guarded the duty of the dwelling place of Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And the officers who were over thousands of the campaign, the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds, came near to Moshe. And they said to Moshe, Your servants have taken account of the fighting men under our command, and not a man of us is missing. So we have brought an offering for Yahweh, what every man found of ornaments of gold, armlets and bracelets and signet rings and earrings and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before Yahweh. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest received the gold from them, all the fashioned ornaments, and all the gold of the offering that they presented to Yahweh from the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds. It was 16,750 shekels. The men of the campaign had to take in spoil, every man for himself. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest received the gold from the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tent of appointment as a remembrance for the children of Israel before Yahweh. Chapter 32. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had much livestock, a large number. And they saw the land of Yazir and the land of Gilad, and saw that place was a place for livestock. So the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moshe and to Eleazar the priest and to the leaders of the congregation, saying, Adaroth and Bon and Yazir and Nimrah and Heshbon and El Aleh and Sebam and Nebo and Beon, the land which Yahweh had stricken before the congregation of Israel, is a land for livestock, and your servants have livestock. And they said, If we found favor in your eyes, let this land be given to your servants as a possession, and do not let us pass over the Yarden." And Moshe said to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, "Are your brothers to go into battle while you yourselves sit here? Now why do you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from passing over into the land which Jehovah has given them? Thus your fathers did when I sent them away from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the Wadi Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, so that they did not go into the land which Jehovah had given them. Then the displeasure of Jehovah burned on that day, and he swore an oath, saying, "Not one of the men who came up from Mitzrayim, from 20 years old and above, is to see the land of which I swore to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, because they did not follow me completely, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Yehoshua, son of Nun, for they followed Jehovah completely." So the displeasure of Jehovah burned against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the eyes of Jehovah was destroyed. And see, you've risen in your father's place an increase of men, sinners, to add still more the burning displeasure of Jehovah against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he shall once again leave them in the wilderness, and you shall destroy all these people. Then they came near to him and said, "Let us build sheep enclosures here for our livestock, and cities for our little ones. But let us ourselves be armed, hastening before the children of Israel until we've brought them to their place. And our little ones shall dwell in the walled cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We shall not return to our homes until every one of the children of Israel has received his inheritance. For we shall not inherit with them on the other side of the Yarden and beyond, because our inheritance has fallen to us on this eastern side of the Yarden." And Moshe said to them, "If you make this promise, if you arm yourselves before Jehovah for battle, and all your armed ones pass over the Yarden before Jehovah until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land has been subdued before Jehovah, then afterward you shall return and be guiltless before Jehovah and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before Jehovah. But if you do not do so, then see, you shall sin against Jehovah, and know your sin's going to find you out. Build cities for your little ones and enclosures for your sheep, and do what you've promised." And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke to Moshe, saying, "Your servants are going to do as my master commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our livestock are going to be there in the cities of Gilead. But your servants are passing over, every armed one of the army before Jehovah to battle, as my master says." And Moshe gave command concerning them to Eleazar the priest, to Yehoshua son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moshe said to them, "If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben pass over the Yarden with you, every man armed for battle before Jehovah, and the land has been subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead as a possession. But if they do not pass over armed with you, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Then the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As Yahovah has said to your servants, so we do. We ourselves are passing over armed before Yahovah into the land of Canaan. But the possession of our inheritance remains with us beyond the Yarden. So Moshe gave to the children of Gad, to the children of Reuben, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, the reign of Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, and the reign of Og, sovereign of Bashan, the land with its cities within the borders, the cities of the land round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aroer, and Atroth, Shophan, and Yazir, and Yogbaha, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, walled cities, and enclosures for their sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Elaleh, and Kiriathaim, Nebo, and Baal Meon, the names have changed, and Shibmah, and they gave other names to the cities which they built. And the sons of Machir, son of Manasseh, went to Gilad, and took it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were in it. So Moshe gave Gilad to Machir, son of Manasseh, and he dwelt in it. And Yair, son of Manasseh, went and took its small towns, and called them Hawoth Yair. And Nobah went and took Kenath and its villages, and he called it Nobah, after his own name.